Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Now welcome to another episode of Viewer Spectate. You guys are really liking this series, and if you are, please do throw a like on the video and, you know, add comments, constructive feedback, as that's what this series is all about. Again, if you don't exactly know what this is, basically, again, we're doing very well in our content at the moment. On the main account, we're Diamond 1, trying to get that master. Good hook by Blitzcrank. Obviously, a weird thing to say is Hecarim is actually taking flash, but it doesn't matter. I was gonna say, like, oh, it's a Hecarim, he doesn't have flash, but this one does. But yeah, so basically the main account's going really well. And obviously that isn't exactly relatable content. Most, you know, the technically Diamond 1, where I am now, I'm in the top 0.3 or 4% of the game. That's pretty not relatable. So the idea is to watch viewers that you guys can see that, oh, this is kind of like my games. One thing I'm actually going to quickly check, because it kind of seems quite zoomed in, is the... Okay, no, it is fine. I thought for some reason it was on 1080p. But today, we are actually, for the first time, on Australia, or OCE. So this is Serenity, or goes by Luchton in our community. Long-term viewer and crazy Australian, part of the trio of crazy Aussies, Pengu, Luchton, and Coda. But anyway, playing JHIN today. I believe this is a gold game. I can double check. It is a gold 3 is Luchton, so we are just above average in terms of the ranking ladder. So I imagine a lot of you watching this video are in that kind of gold bracket. So let us see if we can give any wisdom to Luchton. So clearly started level 1, by the way. Started W level 1, and that was purely for the invade. Good hook. Unfortunately misses the W. May have been a little bit more patient, but obviously that's hard to predict that Blitzcrank was going to land that perfect hook at the right time, but did get that flash from Zeri, so that's never a bad thing. So far, this Blitzcrank has been pretty accurate, which is good. But obviously, normally a JHIN would probably start Q level 1, but purely because of the invade, starting W, completely fine with that. Level 2 hit, enemy team backs off, quite wisely so, because that Blitzcrank seemed to be pretty accurate with hooks, and now Zeri is down flash. I doubt they've gone back. I think they're just waiting until the lane comes to them a bit. So if I was Luchton, I'd maximize the time that they're not getting XP. The enemy team is so passive at the moment. I actually wouldn't use Q there. I would slow push this lane. So it's a big minion wave. They're going to miss some XP here or there. Unfortunately, Blitzcrank was too late for that cannon. That's not great. But they're going to miss some XP here or there. It's a big wave, and this gives you a free, basically a free base. And now, push one more wave potentially, and then go back. If you could bully them off a bit this wave, if Blitzcrank looked for a hook, that'd be great. But it's not 100% needed. But you can see how big this minion wave is. So what I literally want to see Luchton do, and I am going to call him Luchton in this replay, not Serenity. Now go back. Go back. This is where I would base. It's a really big minion wave. You got free base. You can go back. And by the time you get back, good hook though, you could probably have, you know, does use the ignite, but does get the heal from Zeri. Not overly bad. And again, some people say, oh, but for not basing, you just got a lot of pressure off the enemy team. True. But you did also have a free base. Sometimes that is the valuable thing to take. Okay, so friendly bot lane, I guess, is actually roaming in river. I think this is to mainly secure the Scuttle Crab. Noxon, I believe, missed the first one. He opened with Smite, which is quite interesting. But yeah, just help there. And now they could go for a gank. Now, here's the thing. Because you didn't take that free base, the lane is now quite rapidly pushing back to you. So now you've lost your window of free basing. It depends what you want to do. If you do want to go back soon, you'd probably want to hard push this, and that's what actually seems to what Luchton is doing. You can see constant auto attacks, using Q here or there. So clearly doesn't want to freeze them out, clearly doesn't want to like let the wave push all the way back to you. That's potentially what I would have done, let the wave push all the way to you. And then, again, you're screwing the enemy team even more because they don't have the confidence right now to walk over to your side of the territory. So letting that wave push to your side and being very slow with it probably would have given you much a bigger advantage. You are still gaining, you know, it is worth knowing. But right now, after Zeri gets a lot of this farm, she's actually not too far behind. And she's been denied a lot too. So she's been denied a lot and she's actually not too far behind. So that is, you know, it shows, unfortunate hook, does show that, you know, there is definitely a window of denying even more. Enemy team was looking a little bit aggro, but decided against it. Nocturne is here, but so is Hecarim. This is going to be a 3 for 3. Trap activated. Can they bait it? They did not know Nocturne was about. Really nice. Good W into the Blitzcrank hook. And JHIN, vision needed. Bam. Does get that nice kill. Really good patience there. I did like that. It is a bit, obviously, worth knowing, it's a bit weird to see a Hecarim with Flash. When Ghost, you know, clearly is better for him. Hecarim literally gains AD, therefore damage, by having movement speed. So it's a bit weird to see that because, you know, maybe they would have got 1 kill if he had that extra movement speed. They also got the exhaust out of the Lulu, which is never a bad thing. And that was a no summoner use engage by blue team. So overall, so far, so good. The only thing that I would say that Luchton could do anything different is what we've already mentioned, is either you could take that free base if you wanted to, just to, like, again, right now, I'm imagining about 1,500, 1,700 gold. That's a lot of gold to hold in the early game. So earlier, probably only had about 1,000 gold when that free base, maybe 800 to 1,000 gold. Could have got 2 long swords. Like, again, that's where you start to build and extend your lead, is the item advantage. Right now, you have 1 longsword from the first blood, so you do have an item advantage, but you could have so much more item advantage, especially if you take the windows that you're not really going to lose much from basing. Or the other alternate is when the wave is pushing to you, let that happen. You've already seen that the enemy team will really back off and won't come near you, and they are losing XP. They are losing farm by not going anywhere near that farm. And you could basically abuse that. And eventually they'll probably get impatient when you're freezing them out a bit. And then that's where the Blitzcrank can go for a hook. And that's where you get another kill. Right now, all we're really seeing, and I would say, you know, it's kind of my play style. And this is where maybe my influence on people does happen occasionally. I auto zombie push waves. It's what I've always done. I've never, I know how to wave control. I know how to lane manage. I just don't really do it. Why? And I know it sounds stupid to so many people, but I actually find it quite boring. Obviously, in this series, I'm just being educational. Trust me, if a content creator out there or a league coach out there looked at my gameplay, one of the biggest things that they would say is you need to do wave management. I'm aware of that. You know, I've always been aware of that. It's just something that I don't do. Because first and foremost, League to me, as I've always said, is a fun video game. And if I'm not having fun with it, what the hell's the point? And I've just never found wave management that fun. I'd rather just push it, fight, push it, fight. Sometimes I'll freeze it, but it is rare. Level 6 has been hit. Again, not a huge farm advantage for how well this lane phase has gone, but it's, you know, it's not the worst case. Luchton is still highest farm in the game right now, which is never bad. Doesn't go for that base. I was about to say, like, the Blitzcrank hook happened. Is he going to base? He decides against it. Again, is Luchton a bit of a goblin so far this game? The answer is yes, 100%. What is a goblin? I hear people asking. You're holding too much gold. 2,000 gold, I'm going to bet. 2.5 thousand gold. Luchton, go spend your money a bit more in the early game. Like, that genuinely is a big bit of advice. If he went back earlier, right now, gets his item, he is so much ridiculously stronger than what he is at the moment. Like, way stronger. Like, you're getting, with, especially obviously this is pre 10.9 resistance damage change, you'd be close to like one comboing the enemy Lulu with what you could have if you based. It's really valuable. So are we going to see a base now? I hope we do. Please. Here we go. Any base. Here we go. They're basing. Good. So this is good. I do think it was a bit delayed here or there. Again, it is worth knowing. It's not terrible. Has the base cost Luchton anything? No. Like, he's winning lane. He's farming well. He's got 2 kills. It's not an extreme negative. Like, I don't want to make that the point. It's not an extreme negative. The lane is going very well. All my point is, right now you're 2-0. If you went back at certain windows, you could be 3-0. You could be 4-0, because then you'd be so much stronger than the enemy, especially if you then decided to try and freeze them out a bit. And they got impatient, get Blitzcrank hooked. With your increased damage of items, you'd probably end up getting another kill. That's where, like, my point is. So Zeri has also taken this window as going back. Makes kind of sense. She hasn't obviously pushed the wave in or anything. But, you know, it is what it is. Gold-wise, it is worth knowing. 3,000 total. Nearly 1,000 gold ahead is Luchton right now. So that's absolutely fantastic. You can see, you know, the Zoe clearly is struggling. It is worth knowing, obviously, we've always mentioned, I don't see it as a negative thing, but there are certain champions that are good for high rating, certain champions that are good for low rating. Zoe is, I would say, a champion I would steer clear of until certain ranks, or if you're just very good with her, you know, as your individual champion prowess, fair enough. But I wouldn't... Hecarim, good trap, by the way, by Lucian. He's spotting the Hecarim from quite some distances, which is great. Denied a few ganks there, which is never a bad thing. So that's good awareness from Lucian to put those down at the right places. So well done. Hecarim is wanting... Well, no, Vex, sorry, is wanting to try and do Dragon. They do know this is happening. They are obviously aware that the jungler's the other side of the map. Can anything be done? I don't think a full engage could happen. Yep, I was going to say a good ulti might not be bad. Bully the jungler away. But Vex is now taking... Hold your fourth shot. Does get the kill into the hook. Hecarim then ults over. W does get the Hecarim, but no kill. Unfortunately, that's going to be that. Again, good attempt, honestly. Not bad at all. Very close. There was 4 enemies there, 3 of you, and you didn't have your jungler. So honestly, that's not too bad. Take that happily, to be honest. Well, not happily, but there's nothing you really could have done more. Right, returning to lane is going to go back again. From not basing a lot to then a look to random base there was a bit weird. I'd at least push this wave in if you wanted to base. As you know, again, you might be very close to your mythic item. If you know, get this extra gold. Blitzcrank should also get that for his quest. Very good. Maybe a tower plate is in the cards right now. Maybe. Zeri and Lulu are back. You don't have any vision over here, so you do have to be partially careful. But with the minion pressure, you can get another plate. Missing mid laner. Missing jungler. I would right now be like, maybe they could be coming bot lane. 100%, you know, the Hecarim might be. So just keep a little bit of heightened sense at the moment. Just in the back of your mind, if you're expecting to get ganked, kind of embrace that and kind of go, right, when am I getting ganked? You know, be in that mind frame of expecting to see the Hecarim very soon and have like that plan. What you're seeing very nice, what Lucian's doing in between shots, he's moving. I like to see that. Honestly, pretty good. Because you're seeing auto attack, and then while he can do the next one, he's walking back a bit. It might not seem like a lot, but that is actually the sign of a good sign, because what that does is it only makes a brief difference. He's doing it again. You can see in out, basically in between auto attacks. When he can't auto on the global cooldown of an auto attack, meanwhile ult coming through by Nocturne here does flash over the wall to Zeri. He's walking technically to safety. He's like, it doesn't seem like much, but that few steps each time towards safety could be the difference of him getting killed by a Hecarim or not getting killed by a Hecarim. Zoe's roaming. Oh my, what? That didn't land, but okay. W a little bit, you know, again, the synergy I would say between the Blitzcrank and, oh, here we go. Bam. Right there. Right there. Very nice. The synergy between Lucian and the Blitzcrank isn't completely on point sometimes because the W comes down while the hook is happening. Again, that's not a negative. Again, that is purely solo queue. Like, you don't have communication. It's solo queue. You're individuals. Yeah, that's a non-factor to me. Anyway, so far so good though. A bit weird to see that Zoe's already, you know, at bot lane when she's 30 farm down, but maybe the mentality is I'm losing bot lane. Sorry, I'm losing mid lane. I'm going to just roam. Obviously, some champions and mid laners have that mentality. Some champions more than others. Normally not Zoe, though, but that was a good roam. It worked. I think Zoe got her first kill, and then Lucian got the other one. That sleep, I would say, again, was a bit... Hitboxes are still a little bit weird when it comes to League of Legends. Anyway, what is going on now is a lane swap I like to see. So lane swaps happen when you have got their tower down here. So what does that leave you to do as the AD carry? Go top. Go get those tower plates. Go get that tower. Well, there's no tower plates now. But the reason why this happens, by the way, if people don't know, generally, even though AD carries have, you know, they are probably the most complainy bunch in the game, they are the carry of League of Legends. You know, they're more of a carry than the mid laner, than the jungler. They are the carry. So the idea behind these lane trades is I've done well in my lane. I've got the maximum gold from the tower down there early. Now let me go top lane and go get that tower now. You know, in potentially the 2v1 advantage for a little while until the enemy bot lane potentially reacts. That's the idea. So boom, he just gets 175 gold straight away from killing the top lane tower. So that's kind of the idea. It's mainly about funneling as much gold as you can into your AD carry, especially if you get the early trade before the enemy bot lane reacts. And clearly, you know, boom, there they are. They've reacted too slow. So the tower is already gone. So that's good. Honestly, so far from what I'm seeing with Luchton here, I am seeing good play. You know, sometimes these commentaries going to be very educational focused and I can like point out a lot of things. There's not too much to point out at all. Mechanically, we're seeing okay. I'd say, again, I know I'm one to talk. The farm is good, but we have seen some missed farm. So if you wanted to really nitpick, you could say about that. But obviously, that's one of my main weaknesses as a player too. So, you know, it's a weakness, but it's not the end of the world. It just is something that you can look to improve on. Anyway, Dragon is coming up right now. You can see everybody is now bunched, so that's another good thing that we've seen. Is Luchton and the Blitzcrank, unfortunate hook. They are looking to get involved. Really interesting engage by Hecarim, but it worked. Kale did not get an ultimate off. Luchton is definitely in trouble. And yeah, that combo clearly of a Hecarim with a Lulu, very, very strong. So, bit of a crazy engage, but it definitely works. And that will end up a dragon for the enemy team. Again, Zoe was kind of off in the clouds in mid lane. I'm not completely convinced with this Zoe. Not sure why Nocturne walked like that. That's going to probably get him killed unless he can get away. He could Q if it's cooldown. There you go, get the bonus movement speed, and he should be maybe okay. If the Q here, she does, but I think he'll be okay. Spell shield? Walk, just keep going, just do not bait, just keep walking. Ooh, risky. Luchton, no, gets the good Blitzcrank hook into the JHIN ult, and there you go. Okay, risky, but another kill for Luchton, so not too bad. So what happened there was, well, it was technically a 4v5. Zoe was nowhere to be seen. Early engage, like honestly, a really early engage by the Hecarim that I didn't even probably expect. Combined with a good fear and a Lulu ultimate, the Kale unfortunately got killed without popping her ulti. Quite bad, you know. I think there was a window she could have probably ulted herself, but unfortunately just didn't happen. And yeah, so it's a 4v5. Kale didn't ult. She gets one tapped. Yeah, just a ruffle stomp team fight, unfortunately. Zoe getting ganked, didn't notice it, unfortunately, quick enough, but she might be okay. Blitzcrank seems to be not bad. Unfortunate hook. Big Nocturne damage, though. What the hell? And they will end up with a potential triple. They do. Very nice. Zoe, a Vex ult comes through, but not a hit. Keep that in mind. Again, always track of like, oh, you know, like Luchton right now has got confidence to be near her because he probably saw that Vex use ulti. Good hook by Blitzcrank. Final kill. Very nice. Very nice. So everything, again, I'm seeing is not bad. I am seeing good play. I'm seeing maintaining farm. That's a big thing that, you know, happens to most ratings apart from like the very top tier player. When like the ARAM gameplay starts to begin that you're all kind of just mainly grouping, what usually happens is farm drops to a very bare minimum. Usually, to be fair, it's mainly the AD carry that then just gets all the farm because they can just one tap all the farm. And that is what is happening a little bit here. Luchton is grouping, but he's still maintaining farm, which is good. As the AD carry, that's what you should be doing. You know, there's very much a big lead of farm over everybody. You know, even the enemy AD carry, Luchton is still 20 still above. That's fantastic. So we're seeing good play. We're seeing good mechanics. I'm seeing pretty good decision making. You know, when to ultimate, when to W, I would say could be a bit better, but that's mainly just being not timed perfectly with a Blitzcrank that you're in solo queue with. It's not the end of the world. Collector purchase, double items so far, not bad at all. So what I'd look to potentially do now is your Kale is level 11. That's obviously the spike that you need. Obviously level 16 is the ultimate spike, but there is probably enough strength right now on your team to kind of try and push advantage here or there. You've got the combo of Zoe Sleep to Nocturne ultimate with a JHIN ultimate over the top. Very strong combo if you actually look to do it. So that's potentially something that I would want blue team to do, is look for that pick probably on Vex or Hecarim. Someone that you could, you know, someone important really, just to get that number advantage. Hell, pretty much all 5 of the enemy are all great targets to kill. Ooh, that was close. Does dodge the ulti, and that's now going to open up the enemy team to the engage. Nocturne ult comes down. JHIN ultimate on the top. Lulu is the target here. Lulu is the target. Does get an ult off, but not too bad. Hecarim might go for an engage if I'm not, you know, it wouldn't surprise me. W misses, unfortunately. Still be wary of this engage. You have, by the way, a split pushing Zoe, which is just a bit odd. Kayle split pushing does make sense because she is that split pushing champ to level 16 who can 1v1 people. So I don't mind the Kayle split pushing, but not right now. Pause. You've seen that your Kayle is split pushing, right? You know she's split pushing. What should be happening right now? And what I'm seeing is a very good thing by Lucian. Maybe it should have happened a bit earlier. You're seeing these pings on the minimap. This is Lucian pinging. This is, hey, there is a bunch of enemy down there. They are going to be on Kayle. Where should we be? Definitely one of two things. There either is a Baron call. There's definite potential. I don't know if they've got enough damage to do that. Or it's definitely we should be pushing it in for the tier 2. You need to create pressure. You need to be somewhat gaining an advantage somewhere on the map. Because obviously you might be losing it here. And obviously what could be fantastic if Kayle actually wins the fight. But obviously she might get one, which she does, but that's probably going to be the extent. So 1 for 1, but when there was 3 people there, not too bad. What we should be looking to do, though, is doing something, and that's now what we're seeing. You're now seeing them push as a unit, together as 4, going for that tier 2 tower. Flash Vex into the Fiora, into the big shutdown for Fiora. Unfortunately, the healing of Fiora picks her up. Really nice Gale Force. I love to see that. That's good decision making because Lucian knew he was dead. Good hook into the Zoe kill. Blitzcrank gets it. Can Zoe kill the? Yes, she can. Very nice play. This is much improved from a bit earlier. Good sleep. Wait. Does get the kill. Blitzcrank did wake her up though, but that's still not bad. So actually, a bit of an interesting situation turned into a pretty damn big positive. What I absolutely loved was that kill that Lucian did. I'm dead. I know I'm dead. There's a Zoe on top of me. Wait, with with Collector and Gale Force, I can maximize a kill. So you actually got a 1 for 1 in that situation. That's really good. That's honestly great. That's good to see. What I will say is really, if I'm completely honest, weirding me out is obviously, as we've said, this is a gold game on OCE. Why do both mid laners have Magi? Like, I genuinely don't know why. Both of them have got low kills. Like, Zoe's got 17 stacks, mainly due to the assists. Like, that is improving for Zoe. But I have no idea why both of them have Magi. Like, in my games, I would probably say one every 10 games. Maybe even not. Maybe one every 15 or 20. I might see a Magi's. But, like, you know, there are some champions that are Magi users every game. And Evelynn, a Janna. But, like, not Zoe or Vex, especially not Vex when she's an all-in mage, but I don't know, that's a bit weird. Obviously, every single server has their little nuances and differences. I don't know. Obviously, this is our first game watching OCE. I don't know if OCE builds Magi's more than other servers. I'm not sure. Probably not. It's just this specific game. But, yeah, very interesting. So anyway, nearly at the 200 farm mark at 23 minutes. Honestly, really good farm. Maintaining the farm, as I said earlier, is one of the harder things to do as as a player in League. And we're actually seeing that quite well. We are seeing Lucian focus on still farming, even though lane phase is technically over. I really like to see that. Really well-timed W. Timed it perfectly after the Nocturne was going to land, so he knew he'd get his CC. And, you know, they ran in a straight line. Ult. Perfect. I literally call what he should be doing. He does it perfectly. He now changes target because he knew Fiora was dead. Lands the 4th shot for the slow. That is probably going to be under that, but that is very good. Everything that I'm expecting a good JHIN to do, I'm actually seeing. As I said, some of these are going to be very educational, and I can point out my big mistakes that I'm seeing. If I'm honest, I'm not seeing mistakes. I'm not. If there was mistakes, I'd be pointing them out. I'm not seeing mistakes at all. This is actually a very clean game of League. And what I would say is, obviously, I know Lucian will be watching the video. For a gold 3 player, this is very impressive. Like, that's the thing. This doesn't scream gold to me. And obviously, it is worth knowing, like, always one of the things that happens with, oh, you know, this player could be above gold or whatever. Meanwhile, engage. May could have Gale Force to avoid it, but it's not a bad situation. Good hook. Really good hook by Blitzcrank. Now the aggression's coming in. Don't do it, Hecarim. Again, you've got 2 dead teammates and he chooses to go in. What? Very weird. Nocturne ultimate going in. Very low. Does flash out. Good Blitzcrank hook. And that will be another kill. But yeah, like I was saying is, oh, this looks to be a better gold than a gold player. it is always worth knowing when that type of phrase happens. This is a gold player likely playing against other gold players. So, you know, if the gold player was thrown into a platinum game, would they still do well? If the gold player was throwing into a diamond game, would they still do well? Those are obviously the things that you can never answer, and the likelihood is they would struggle the higher rating game they're put in. That's sometimes what people don't think about is, yeah, it's looking really good right now. I'm happy, very happy with what we're seeing. Bit of an overstay potentially. Does have sums. There was a chance, I would say, that Lucian might be able to escape that if he flashed earlier, but honestly, I don't mind that they didn't. Why? Look what's happening here. So sometimes actually taking the death isn't the worst thing to do, especially like the other side of the map. Things are going quite well. You're wasting their time, and wasting their time, you already got the inhib over there. That's what they were doing, and Kale at the same time was getting this. So it's not terrible. It's not what we wouldn't call it a bad death. That is an okay death. May have had a chance to escape, but still, I don't mind that too much. Item build, everything seems to be in order. Nothing seems to be completely out of the ordinary. And, you know, honestly, the game itself, you know, it is worth knowing in League of Legends, item builds are easier to do now than they ever have been, thanks to the in-game store, like, recommending system. Obviously, that never used to exist, so sometimes you did see very wacky builds, but that system is actually pretty damn good. The reason why that system is good, and normally it gives you good item builds, by the way, is because it's not made by Riot. They're not Riot recommended builds. It's created by looking at data in high rating and basically seeing what do players on your champion build on average against the champions that are on the enemy team. That's actually how the system works. So it's always recommending you what is probably the better thing to do. So that's why it's actually pretty nice. Baron for blue team, good to see. Why? We saw Hecarim randomly in bot lane. No idea why he's in bot lane. Slain Baron, unfortunately, well, it's good that they got Baron, but Nocturne didn't smite it or missed his smite. I'm not really sure. Worth knowing when it comes to JHIN, by the way, if you're an AD carry, and I know one of the biggest frustrations of AD carry is you don't sometimes feel in control of engage. JHIN is actually one of those AD carries that can actually have control of engage, because you can just randomly, if you're like, dude, I see this as a good engage, you can pull the trigger on your ultimate, and that kind of gives you the message to your team of go. Like if you land that one ult that gets the slow to then gives the Nocturne ult, like you can do that. I accidentally did that. And there it is. So Nocturne ult gives the vision, and that also gives Nocturne the chance to his ult. So that's a really good combo. And again, that's good by Lucian for doing that. I'm not sure if he did it to give Nocturne his ultimate, but it's an engage tool. As I said, literally just now, JHIN is one of the AD carries that actually can engage more than others. Enemy team is definitely on the back foot. I like the move up here. You're not going to follow in time, so I like it. Into the Gale Force, into the kill. Like that, very nice. And honestly, this should basically be the end of the game. Meanwhile, like all that was happening, super minions are pushing into the base. They have a super minion with them. They can walk with it, focus the end. Don't dilly-dally, don't, you know, mess around. I have literally lost games from people messing around, not finishing, and then you lose. So yeah, straight into the end. Very nice. So overall, for a gold 3 OCE AD carry, and I actually don't know if Lucian is actually an AD carry player. I think he plays quite a few things. I can just double check. His highest mastery is JHIN, and then also I think does play a mage's hero there. Let me look at the match history. So is mainly a JHIN main. I'm looking at the match history right now. Does play, you know, there's a Diana game. There's a Yone game. So mainly is JHIN. Senna game. Overall, I would say this is very good. I didn't see blatant big mistakes. Farm, highest in the game. Very nice. Good use of ulti. Very actually good use of ulti. Very accurate with it on average. Good use of Gale Force when it mattered. Honestly, there wasn't much for me to pick apart in this. So what I would say to Lucian, I don't know how many games he's played of rank. Can I check that? I probably can. He has got 44 wins. If you're roughly at a 50% win rate, you know, 100 games maximum so far for Lucian this season, I would say. That is pretty promising that you should probably continue to climb. Like, of this one game, I would say, you know, one example, very clean, not many mistakes, mechanics were good, farm was good, everything that you'd want an AD carry to be, Lucian did this game. So honestly, very nice, well done, keep doing that, and you'll probably continue to climb, let's be honest. So Very nice. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do throw a like on the video. If there were any things that you spotted that I didn't, again, please be constructive and friendly. That's the whole point of this series, but feel free to put it in the comments if you saw anything I didn't. But yeah, honestly, really enjoyed it. It's always nice to see JHIN. Is one of my, he's one of the best champions in the league, let's be honest. But anyway, that's gonna be it. If you guys enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore